So welcome back to our channel, and my name is Soles, you already know, and this is
Baby.
Yep, yeah. And today we want to talk about something that is important. You know, the African continent is made up mostly of the black race, and so many times people think that the African continent is the same culture, the same everything. And me myself, I was so surprised to find out about the differences in our cultures. For before 2021, I've not left my country before. So on getting here and then making friends with other Africans that are not from West Africa, that are not from Nigeria, I got to discover like the big differences in our culture. So myself and Faisy here today, I'm going to be talking about the differences we see in our culture. Faisy is from Kenya and from Nigeria. So we'll talk about
Africa?
Yeah,
West
Africa, yeah. So let's do it. So first of all, for me, is that my favorite Nigerian dish, which is jollof rice. I thought that it's like an international dish that everybody in the world ought to know what jollof is. But on coming to the UK, I'm meeting friends, black people from Africa, and I got to know they don't even know jollof. I was surprised. Faisy does not know jollof.
I had no idea what jollof was until I got to a flat and Soles and somebody else, they cooked jollof rice, and then they gave me jollof rice very excitedly.
Yeah.
And I was asking them, what is this?
That's so strange.
When I took a taste, it was so peppery. It was like, no,
Yeah.
I've never had this.
Yeah.
And she was even more surprised to know. She was surprised, saying that we don't eat jollof in your country. Why? The question of why was even more bizarre to me. Like, why are you asking why?
Why?
We don't know what jollof is. It's my first time.
Yeah, in fact, it was more than surprising to learn that jollof is predominantly in Nigeria and Ghana and Senegal and Kenya. People from East Africa had no idea of what is called jollof rice.
Well, maybe some people who had traveled before, they would have an idea of what jollof rice was. Just that it's not something we eat in Kenya. For us, we have other substitutes for rice foods like pilau or biryani, or we just eat white rice and it is.
Okay. Talking about rice, another big surprise for me is how you even eat your white rice. In Nigeria, you make rice, then you make stew, and then you put stew on rice. Faisy eats white rice like without nothing. Tell them.
It surprises me that you guys are surprised at eating white rice. I enjoy eating white rice. Like, I would eat just white rice cooked with salt. That's really satisfying for me.
Imagine, it's so, I'm like shocked. Why are you eating white rice? In Nigeria, maybe it is, even no poor person, like, it's
really
white rice. It's bizarre, it's weird for you to see somebody sprinkling salt on white rice and eating it. Like, even the poorest of the poor will look for a stew to make. So I was shocked, like, why are you eating rice and salt? Is it that you don't have stew? Should I give you stew? Yeah, that was very surprising. And Faisy does something like adding chicken to the rice, like chicken, no stew. So she picks chicken, add it to white rice, and then she eats it like that.
Yeah, I find it enjoyable. So for most of our dishes, would have just white rice served with beans, or served with beef, or chicken, or any other legume or meat product.
Yeah.
But I won't have, for instance, spiced rice or fried rice with, let's say, beef. No, mostly our rice would just be white, or the kinds of jasmine rice or coconut rice. Yeah. And speaking of stew, Soles has been asking me for a very long time, what's your stew?
Yeah.
I still don't understand the concept of stew.
Yeah, Faisy does not understand the concept of
stew or sauce.
It's stew. We call it stew. So it's like a tomato base, and then you add other spices and ingredients. Then you add water a bit, and like some chicken and other meat or protein that you have. Yeah. So Faisy does not know that.
No, I don't know what stew is. What's more surprising is that stew is made of oil, like 1 liter of oil and tomatoes.
Faith does not use oil to cook. She used like a spoon of oil to make like her tomato base or whatever, anything. And me, I used like a whole like 3 cups of oil, depending on how large the tomato is, to make my stew. And Faith can't eat something that has that amount of oil. She even has to ask me, is it that oil is so cheap in your country that you people have to throw it away like this? And I'm like, it's a culture. Like in Nigeria, you have to weigh your oil according to like the amount of tomato you have and use it to cook. And if Faith wants to eat, she wouldn't eat that because the oil would automatically, she's not used to it, so she can't eat that amount of oil.
Yeah. I mean, so going back to stew, our concept of stew will be somebody is saying, give me rice and chicken stew or beef stew or bean stew. So it will be very specific. But I think for Nigeria,
it's just one thing. As stew, if you say stew to a Nigerian, we know what you mean with rice. So it's like tomato, pepper, beans, and then spices and protein.
Oh, okay, that was quite surprising.
And I'm talking about oil. She doesn't know red oil.
Yeah, I don't know what red oil is. I only know one type of oil, just vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil. Yeah, so she doesn't have like, for me, I can't eat beans with vegetable oil. It's weird. I can't.
Oh.
Yeah, so we use palm oil. If you open my cupboard now, you see palm oil, like the red oil. That's what we use.
Isn't the oil I used in the morning?
No, that red one.
Yeah.
Like, you see that very, very red one. Yeah. So Faith does not know palm oil or red oil.
We don't have palm oil in Kenya.
See the difference. And you think that we are all from Africa and should have the same thing?
No, we don't.
Let's talk about like how we eat our swallow and the differences. So in Nigeria, we have like cassava, yam, and we can turn that into like starch, and we can turn that into balls that we eat. Faith eats ugali.
Yeah, so first of all, we don't say swallow. Swallow is not a concept that we use or word that we use in Kenya. We don't say East Africa. So we are very specific. It's either ugali, it's either mashed potatoes, or it's either something called mokimo. That would be our swallow. And ugali, it's made from maize flour. Mashed potatoes, of course, that is Irish potatoes. That's most common in Kenya. And mokimo, it will still be Irish potatoes with other additives.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Fexi gave me mashed potatoes to eat yesterday, and I'm like, as a Nigerian, why are you mashing potatoes to give me when I have teeth? So it's not like something you give to somebody that can't chew. So the concept of mashed potatoes is not there in Nigeria.
So it is like an insult to give somebody mashed potatoes.
Exactly, because it's for you to mash something for somebody. It's either a baby or a very old person that have lost all their teeth. So the concept of mashed potatoes, mashing potato as a dish, is not there.
I love mashed potatoes.
Yeah, she gave me and I ate it. Yeah,
honestly.
Well, it feels weird. Like, they're so soft in my mouth, so already mashed. I'm saying, am I eating pounded yam? It's not pounded yam. It's not, I don't know, but well, I'm always open to eating everything. So I ate it, and I like it because there was chicken there.
Yeah. And about yam, pounded yam, do you eat yam as it is as a block, or do you always have to crush it to make?
So they have two types. Either you cut it, sun it and grind it, or you cook the fresh yam and you pound it. So anyone can be used as a swallow. It's more general that you cook the yam and turn it into pounded yam. You have to pound it so that it turns into bulb, then you eat it.
Would you have that for breakfast?
No, not mostly, because it's heavy.
And you also eat cassava
as
it is as a block without having to pound it.
You have to know the way we do cassava, we prepare cassava is different. So people prepare it as starch. I think this is the some people. Then in my side, you have to like ferment the cassava. You have to ferment it for like 4 days, bring it out, sun dry it, take it to the mill, grind it before you use it to cook. Yeah, so that's how we do ours.
Yeah, well, in my life, I've not eaten pounded cassava.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten pounded yam.
Wow.
And our cassava, we cook it. Okay, growing up, we used to eat cassava cooked as a block and yams cooked as a block and have that for breakfast in the morning. It's like a very heavy meal. And even up until now, I mean, it's the most highly healthy vegan food, like just having yam for breakfast. That is so sweet. That's a real deal.
Okay, so let's move on from food. Let's talk about like cultures and outfits. So in Nigeria, we don't have like a national attire like that, but we have like predominantly large ethnic groups like the Igbo, the Yoruba, and the Hausa, which has more population. So their outfit is kind of loud because they have more people. I am from a minority tribe, and sometimes most minority tribes have their own attire too, but it would be like African print or all these knitted clothes. You know, there's a way they use like big engines to knit those things now, so they knit those prints for them according to their culture.
Kenya, do we have a distinct attire? No, we don't. We don't have a distinct attire, unlike what I've seen with Nigeria. I mean, that is those dressings that at a glance I will know this person is from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Very, very distinct about your country.
Yeah.
But for us, we tend to be more westernized in how we dress.
Yeah.
Even our government officials just put on suits when going for functions.
Yeah.
For official engagement, just put on suits.
Yeah.
It's just that there's one tribe in Kenya that is often misused to represent Kenya, which is not having the girls. Which brings me to still talking about this whole topic of, in Africa, we're not the same. We have different countries with different cultures.
Yeah.
Even in Kenya, we're not the same. We have different tribes with different cultures.
Yeah.
So maybe you have seen this Maasai culture. They always wear what you call shukas, like red.
Yeah,
red
they tie like this.
Yeah, they tie like this. Yeah. So those are Maasai. They're from Kenya, but don't represent Kenya. Kenyans don't dress like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that would be it. I mean, different cultures have different dress.
So that's about culture. Another thing I wanted to ask is about like maybe dating culture. We know we are in like the UK, in a Western society, and then kids are very open to telling their mom about their boyfriends and people that they're dating. And in Nigeria, it's more like an unspoken like rule that so many people will keep their relationship low-key, and then until it graduates to like fiancé stage and fiance before you tell them. But here people are like, "Mom, meet my boyfriend." Yeah. So how is it?
I would say it's the same for Kenya.
Yeah.
Young people would rather keep their relationships very low-key until it gets serious.
Yeah.
Until like the guy proposes. That's why they'll introduce the partner to the family, or the I should take cognizance of the fact that we live in a very diverse world.
Yeah.
So
So there's a point of convergence there between yeah. So there's like most differences is in our food. I think food. There's large difference there. Yeah.
Things are changing. Those who live in the city tend to be more open to their parents about their relationships.
So if you're a Nigerian likely facing this video right now, you have to know that the food is different and you have to be ready to cope. I'll put you on the spot. Okay, jokes apart. So that says we wanted to share like some of the differences between like East Africa, West Africa, Nigeria versus Kenya. And tell us in the comment section if you have like other cultural differences that you think that we need to know in the comment section. What have you experienced? Let us know, and we'll see you again in our next video. Goodbye.